The Ministry of Housing and Water is seeking to fulfill the land and water needs of all residents. More from Renetta Court.
Minister of Housing and Water Honorable Colin Crowell, during an interview with Channel 8 News, noted that his ministry is seeking to meet the needs of residents in terms of land and water.
At the end of the day, it's the simple things that matter to the people out there. And so if you're living in an area that should be benefiting water, then that concerns us. If you're living in an area and you're being affected by your neighbor, they're not adhering to the regulations and to the law, obviously that would concern any government to ensure that our citizens live in a peaceful way.
The minister noted that ensuring all areas across the country have access to proper water is the long-term goal for both his ministry and the Guyana Water Incorporated.
As part of the long-term plan for GWI, we will ensure that every single area eventually benefits once they're occupying the area in a legitimate way. And so that alone is to ensure that as a citizen, you must be benefiting all the services that the state is providing, because every citizen is important.
In terms of housing and lands, Crowell noted that preparatory works are already on their way to foster infrastructural developments in new housing schemes.
Our immediate work program is to start the work program for the next few years, so that we can prepare the necessary infrastructure in the various schemes to encourage and to ensure that allocations are done, and that persons, when they get those allocations, they can go and take up the area and start building.
Although allocations were made, persons cannot access their lands due to the absence of proper roads and water.
What you have in the system, there are some allocations done, but you just can't access the area. And so for the persons who receive those letters, it means little to them. If you get a letter, you're given an area, but you just can't go and build. That means nothing much to you. And even for them who they're seeking a mortgage and think to require a loan from the bank. So that's why our first work program in the first year is to address some of the areas for which allocations were done to put the infrastructure in place.
He further emphasized,
of course, the new areas, to start the preparatory works in the next year, it will be to start the preparatory works for those other areas, so that we can be ahead of the game. So while we're issuing the processing of the letters and the allocation, at the same time, the infrastructure work is being done.
Both the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHPA, and the Guyana Water Incorporated, GWI, must work in conjunction with the Ministry of Housing and Water to work towards developing the new housing schemes as well as other communities.
Both Guyana Water Inc. and the Central Housing and Planning Authority and the ministry will have to work together, so that when we put the necessary road infrastructure, water is also being done to the community, so that whoever wants to go and live, they can go and do so and be comfortable.
Reporting for Channel 8 News, Renetta Court.